about VR. I've had my VR YouTube channel up for over 5 years now, and for the past 2, VR has become my full-time gig. I'm experiencing new virtual reality games every single day, and I of course love checking out the latest hardware. So if you have any questions at all about this industry, stay tuned and I promise I'll give you some answers. As a reminder, if you have a direct question for me, please use @Mateo311 down in the chat when asking. And if you want to help support this channel, go click the thumbs up right now. Now the stream will be starting soon, but in the meantime, enjoy the montage. Hello everybody and welcome back. The live stream is about to begin momentarily, and soon I'll start answering all of your questions about VR. I've had my VR YouTube channel up for over 5 years now, and for the past 2, VR has become my full-time gig. I'm experiencing new virtual reality games every single day, and I of course love checking out the latest hardware. So if you have any questions at all about this industry, stay tuned and I promise I'll give you some answers. As a reminder, if you have a direct question for me, please use @Mateo311 down in the chat when asking. And if you want to help support this channel, go click the thumbs up right now. Now the stream will be starting soon, but in the meantime, enjoy the montage. Hello everybody and welcome back. The live stream is about to begin momentarily, and soon I'll start answering all of your questions about VR. I've had my VR YouTube channel up for over 5 years now, and for the past 2, VR has become my full-time gig. I'm experiencing new virtual reality games every single day, and I of course love checking out the latest hardware. So if you have any questions at all about this industry, stay tuned and I promise I'll give you some answers. As a reminder, if you have a direct question for me, please use @Mateo311 down in the chat when asking. And if you want to help support this channel, go click the thumbs up right now. Now the stream will be starting soon, but in the meantime, enjoy the montage. Hello. No, one more. Hello everybody. No, that was enough. You guys saw enough. What's going on everybody? I'm just chilling, doing my thing. Gonna have a nice little chat with you guys for an hour or so, hour plus. Normally I do like 90 minutes. I'm gonna sneeze. That was a curse sneeze. I was fumbling for the mute and I was like, curse will be funnier. And then I forgot the cover and it was disgusting. It was disgusting. What a way to start the stream. Let's get it going, everybody. All right. Oh, thank you for following me, camera. Now that everyone is sick after seeing me sneeze everywhere, how we doing? This is loose. I don't know why. If you have kids, things just break. I took a break from Hitman to watch you. I'll give you more tips on how to just kill somebody. How's that sound? So this won't be a break. This will be like a refresh the body and talk it through how we're going to murderize a little bit better. All right. So Salvador, Biggs, Arlen, you know, sometimes I'll call you by your first name, your last name, whichever one is easier for me to say. Chaps, what's going on? DVSA, Zell, what's up? Topo, what's going on? And Music Maven, what's up, everybody? How we doing today? I bought Season 7, but I don't know if I have time for anything other than Schedule 1. Let's get all about them drugs. It's all about selling them drugs. Genghis messaged me. I woke up to a message from Genghis, or no, it was a random afternoon message. I was like, do you want to sell drugs tonight? And she sent me a link to the game. I'm like, I'm good. I'm good. I don't sell them. I only do them. So how we living, guys? I heard the latest Hitman made a referendum. It made a recovery. It made a comeback. 4 times the charm. It's still not perfect. I mean, a game like that was never designed to have hand controls. And you got to like ham fist them in there or just kind of, you know, hack and slash the code to get to where you want to be. But so there's always going to be remnants. But, you know, I started playing it. And based on every other version I've tried, it's just hands down leagues above. Yeah, Genghis got hacked again. I know. I got a text message from her this morning because she made a new Discord account, and then I messaged her and I was like, "Hey, either someone's impersonating you or you got hacked or both." And yeah, what am I drinking? Not sponsored. Riot Energy, blah, organic, blah, something, caffeine. Yeah, you know, you got to balance the uppers with the downers. Hitman is not perfect and yet the best VR game I've played. See, like, that's how I feel about some other games. Like Blade and Sorcery, definitely not perfect. There's still jank there. The Boneworks, Bone Lab, definitely some jank there. There's a bunch of other ones that, like, you know, still have a decent amount of jank, but still feel absolutely amazing. And I was just thinking of, the Fallout and Skyrim series. Yeah, vanilla, they suck, but modded, they're still janky, but the original game was janky. Like, that's remnants of the flat game. So, again, same scenario. Is Hitman only good on PlayStation VR? So right now, only the PlayStation VR2 version is the one I would give a stamp of approval. Now, this new version they said never say never, it may make its way on the PC, but I don't know. Mark Poppin, what's up, man? How are you in the family? The family's doing great, guys. The family's doing awesome. Can't complain there. You know, I got a 6-year-old, a 10-year-old, and my old lady, who's actually older than me. And I'm old as dirt, so. But somehow she's holding it together even better than me, so I can't complain. Again, guys, if this is your first time in one of these streams, basically what we do is we just chill here. I answer your questions. Looks like we got a bunch of regulars here, but if the chat starts speeding up, or if you really want my attention, always make sure to use @Mateo311. So that way I'll see your comment. I'll do my best to answer it. Gingus's Fallout VR mod is the best. Yes, I've been singing its praises, dude. I've been playing it a lot. Actually, I wanted to jump in today, but I don't have time. I'm going to hang out with you guys for a bit. Then I have a meeting to go to for something really cool that I'm working on. And then I got to get my kids. And then I got to make dinner. And then I got to play with my kids until they go to bed. And then I go to bed. That's my day. Do you think Stress Level Zero will do another sandbox game? I kind of hope they don't. Well, we know they're coming out with the full Boneworks for Quest. Like, everything that they made, I forget what their underlining engine is. They have a name for it. But all the work they did for their, you know, physical interactions and stuff started on PC. Had to be cut down to operate on the Quest. And now they've been working all that time to get that same, like, underlining engine performance and feature set on the Quest version, which they said they've basically done. Then they're bringing over all of Boneworks, and all of this is in preparation for a new IP. I think they won't stray too far from the things that they like and people like about their games. But I think at the same time, maybe they want to prove that they can make a compelling campaign. I don't know. That grilled chicken, I still don't believe it's just salt and pepper. What's up, Music Marvin? Now I know who that is. What's up, dude? It's just salt and pepper on my chicken. That's all. That's all. I like to cook chicken thighs, guys. I was cooking for some of the other fellow streamers. We rented a mansion for a week. Everyone I'm on the team with, like Gingus, VR Central, Todd from Q2C was there, Techman, Jay Brat, Otterworldly. I think that's everybody. So we're all if I missed anybody, I apologize, but I'm pretty sure that was the house. So we were hanging out, partying the whole time, and I went to make what I generally cook when I barbecue is chicken thighs, and there's a lot of us, so I'm making a lot of chicken thighs. Little did I know that the people who own the Airbnb only clean the top grill. Like, I opened it, I said, "Ooh, it looks nice and clean." There was like this much grease on the bottom, so I started a massive grease fire. That, like, good thing I was outside, but we had to move the barbecue away from the house. And then, like, the next day, I took apart the barbecue, and I'm like, "You son of a bitch!" It's like it's like a car engine in there. It was ridiculous. So yeah. So, I wanted to make chicken that I like making that people apparently enjoy, as per the comments here. This is one we are really off on a tangent here. Ask some VR questions. Let's go. Any good MR game? All feel like demos. Probably the best mixed reality game. They're all pretty much demos because we're talking about there's no money in mixed reality right now. The only platform that really can get it is Quest 3 and Quest 3S. So there's a lot less headsets. You want to develop for everyone, not for a small subset of an already niche hardware product line. So yeah, we're going to get demos for a while. And we're only getting demos because Meta was helping fund those demos. But Spatial Ops is fantastic. I was just playing it again yesterday. It's fantastic in single player. It's fantastic in multiplayer. The single player is like an on-rail shooter, but that mechanic of portals opening up around your room is just honestly, it's so simple yet so smart, and it really feels cool. So definitely try that. And then Drop Dead the Cabin. What was it? Not The Last Stand, because The Last Stand was the game they made that's similar. Drop Dead the Cabin, Home Invasion. So you can get Home Invasion separately now, and that's a great. It's still pretty much a demo, but that's a great mixed reality experience. I played that with my kids. It's great. Citadel is very much a turn your brain off, bash a bunch of undead enemies. Undead Citadel, I don't know. I didn't like the feel of combat originally. I haven't jumped back in since a bunch of the updates. Did you do any pinball effects too? No, man. I have it. I haven't tried it. I really want to try it with my arcade system because it's compatible. This one. That one right there. On the screen, my arcade. See, I got paddles on the side. So, oh, you know what else, guys? What I finally eventually fixed? I'm a liar. No, it's the camera's closed. Let me open it. Let me open it. Hold on. We're gonna go dark. We're going dark. Team Bravo, Charlie, going dark. I'm doing this for a reason. Stop tracking me. This is Hey! I fixed that camera finally, which means I put my RTX 5090 in the machine, if you guys did not know. So yeah, hey, we broke the fourth wall. Hey. And let's bring it on back. Hey. So yeah, I finally fixed that. Okay. I'll get back on topic here. I haven't played Shattered yet. I heard it's awesome. There's too much to play. Topo, I put a video out on Civilization yesterday. I was not expecting a good reception here. I don't think the player base is there for this type of game. I don't necessarily think it's downgraded to the point that it's not a good game anymore, but it does feel different than the flat screen version. Because, like I said, I was getting, you get overwhelmed with pop-ups and stuff. So it's like pop-up, when you're playing on flat screen, everything's delivered to you, right in, light, line of sight. Jesus, that was hard. So, eye level, line of sight, and you're just click, 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 and you blast through menus a million times faster. But when you're in VR, you're kind of just there's my unit, click, click. Oh, pop-up. Okay, yeah, no, I work on my economy. Oh, yes, I do want to work in diplomacy. And then, are you sure? Yeah. And I literally, it pop-ups like that. And I feel like the interface is kind of the worst aspect of it. But in terms of playing Civ 7, if I didn't have a PC and I wanted to play Civ 7, I'd be fine with that. If I have the option to play it on anything other than a Quest 3, I'm taking that option, if that makes sense. I think this is just a weird... See, listen. 2K and Firaxis didn't set out on this endeavor and say, hey, we want to break in the VR. What they made it sound like to me was this project happened specifically because Mark Zuckerberg is a Civ fan, and he said, I want to see that game on my platform. And that's how it was explained to me. So they didn't talk about financial compensation, but to my expectations or speculation, yeah, Meta covered this. And they got in early. So it's not like they came in at the very end and said, hey, can you port your game to VR? They got in very early. They were, in the majority of the development of this game. So it's not a port, but there's only so much you could do on a mobile chipset. I compared it to playing the Switch version, which it is like the Switch version, but then you try and add VR things on top. And it's like, well, did you need those VR things? Do they enhance it? Sometimes it feels a lot more immersive. Other times, less intuitive. Yeah, but I was getting sucked into the gameplay, so, and that's what I'm there for. I'm so impressed by your room. It's worth a room tour video. I have a very early video, Dennis. Like, that's actually how I started this channel, with a room tour. And it's like one of the first videos up on my channel. Shadows of Doubt is perfect for VR. I am not familiar with the game. I'd have to look into it. I'm on the fence. Which leg trackers are the best for Blade and Sorcery? Any suggestions? Do you already have base stations? If you have base stations, get the Tundras or the or any of the Vive trackers. They all work good enough. You know, you get some better upgrades. They're lighter, the newer stuff. But even get like some cheap used to make sure, well, used, the battery life might be absolute shit. So, Jack, we were hammering them about making XCOM VR. I'm sorry, my nose is crazy all of a sudden. I'm all stuffed up today. It's spring. The shit's in the air. Anyway, so yeah, we were hounding them. Like, we're there and they're like, do you have any questions about Civ 7? I'm like, me. I'm like, I don't want to forget, but XCOM VR, when? Make it happen. So that's the only reason why I want droves of people to buy Civ 7, so that they make XCOM VR. All right. Let's see. Did you check out the Onward update? Definitely looks better. Just wish they had an option for seated playing. Shooters make me tired. Yeah, I know. And that's been one of the complaints from Onward from the beginning. Like, Onward for a shooter is very tiring and very cumbersome and not super noob friendly. But I was surprised that game's still alive and kicking. Have any idea when Wanderer is coming to Steam? Every information that we've been told over time constantly changes. So that's Mighty Eyes, right? That's the studio. Mighty Eyes, I think it's called. If they gave us a date, would you even believe it at this point? Not throwing shade at them. It's just, you know, they had so many delays and it's tough. It's tough to launch on that many platforms. They should have just nailed one platform, maybe the PlayStation VR2, then started rolling out in other places, get the hype going. I don't know. But no, I don't. Yeah, it's too early for Quest 4 talk. We got to get through Tariff Land first. We got to see how the next 6 months go, because everyone right now is rethinking their game plan, but they can't put anything in stone because we're going left, right, and I'm not getting into politics here, but there's a lot of uncertainty, so no one can plan ahead to meet or match or compete with that, you know, uncertainty. So we'll see how the next, 3 to 6 months go, and they'll determine things for the future. Have you seen or tried the basic HLA demo? I've seen it. I mean, yeah, obviously we're not going to get a full flat version. If we get a full flat version, it's going to be from the deckard, which would be a cool possibility. Because then they could show off standalone hardware is actually badass now. So if they could pull that off, which I honestly think they could, because Half-Life Alyx ran on a 1060. Well, ran butter smooth on a 2060. Now, it wasn't, cranked, obviously, but it ran well on a 2060. And I've heard people play through it on a 1060 Ti. Now, if you take that all the time and, how much faster the chipsets are now, the mobile chipsets, and then talk about, okay, they've had years to optimize the title for mobile, I could definitely see, like, Half-Life Alyx running on the deckard. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, I mean, listen, anytime, I'm rooting for everything in VR. Like, I'm not gonna hold off when something sucks. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna be truthful, but I'm rooting for everyone. Like when someone like crashes and burns on a project, I feel it. I feel bad. I don't want to just be like, another game. No, I don't want the consumers, wasting their money. Obviously, I don't want that either. But I just want every aspect of this industry to grow, get better for consumers, get better for devs, get better for hardware producers, every aspect. We all win. And this is why I so want custom content open for Civ 7 VR. We can create our own game. Yeah, that would be badass. I'm not up on the whole Civ mod scene, if it's like that robust. If it is, that's awesome. Mr. Lord Beavis, did you just come in here with a meow? A meow? No cats allowed. No. In a nutshell, what a name. All right. As a person new to PCVR, I recently got a 4080. What's the most realistic looking, best graphics PCVR game you have seen? Well, I mean, top graphics, you start at Half-Life Alyx. Some of the other titles still look pretty damn good. Even older games. Like the Arizona Sunshine games look good. I wouldn't say realistic, but they look really good. You could try like modding. I don't know if you want to get into the mod scene, but the Resident Evil games look sick. A lot of modded games look pretty badass, but they can janky. They can be janky. Results will vary. The original Asgard's Wrath is stunning. It still holds up. It still looks great. Might have to play around a little bit to get it to work with some modern headsets, but I don't know, you'd be fine on a Quest. I'm in Tangentville. I mean, those are obviously some of the best looking games. Well, there's plenty more out there. Even games like when I jump in PCVR on like, things that are more simplistic, like Until You Fall or another good looking game like Into the Radius came to mind. That's very realistic looking, but it's, dark and gritty. But even like jumping into Underworld or Until You Fall on PCVR versus Quest, it looks badass, man. The product I designed for my job shipped their first cargo container with 145% tariff. The whole thing lost money. Yay! Enlighten me. What are the latest leaks on the deckard? I haven't seen anything this week. I have not tried any Gaussian splatting demos in VR. Is that something I need to put on my list of must try? Because I will. I'm working on something cool. I can't wait. It's probably going to be months before I could talk about it, but I'm working on something pretty cool. I also have a video coming out for the True Gear. That's the vest, guys. I would hold it and show it off right now, but it's hanging on my wall, and that's work to get it down. We ain't going to do it. But the True Gear haptic vest. But if you follow my shorts, I put up a couple shorts on it. It's one that has haptic motors like Be Haptics, but also has straps that electrocute you. And I've ripped them off a couple times playing. Like if they're certain games just cranks them too high, or if they're turned up high. If it's low, it feels like a little tingle. When it's high, you're like, ow. And then like if you're using a Quest 3, a lot of times when it's going off, you're like your go-to is like, oh, press the menu button and pause, which might lock the software and it keeps zapping you. It's awesome. It's awesome. Blackbeard Sniper, what's up, man? Yeah, Metro's looking good. Oh, Red Matter 2 is definitely a stunner for sure. I'm just catching up on the chat here. If you, cranked up Microsoft Flight Simulator, that's pretty badass too. Have you tried Prism VR or some other intermediate connection between hardwire for PCs? No. Prism VR. Honestly, these days when I'm playing PCVR, I'm using Steam Link 99% of the time, and it's perfect. Mark Poppin, where are you stuck in? Where are you stuck right now in Wanderer? Honestly, surprisingly, I think a lot of the bugs come when you do things unexpected. Like if you attack someone or kill someone like in a cutscene, that apparently caused some issues. Um, I take my game serious, and when someone's talking to me in a cutscene, my undivided attention is there, and I'm like, I want to hear what the writer has. I want to hear the voice actress. I want to be sucked into this world. So I don't do anything stupid like accidentally shoot the chick on the boat with the flare gun. I've never done that, and that would not result in the game crashing. However, um, I mean, honestly, my experience was every once in a while in a game like that, it's a puzzle game. You're like, is there a bug or am I stupid? 99% of the time is I was stupid, and I really didn't run into many bugs playing the game. But some areas have shit performance. It's rough. Slenderman VR with Genghis. When is it a 2-player game? I mean, Slenderman, I'm pretty sure they're bringing the old school one back in. Was that the 6 pages? Is that what it was? I think they're bringing that one into VR, which is only single player, which I played through years ago with my wife. So it'd be really great. But anything stupid I could play through with Genghis would be great. Have you played Stormlands? Of course, man. Stormlands is awesome. So, hey, Trixie. What's going on, lady? Thanks for joining. So, Stormland. I will be honest with you. It wasn't my number one game. I appreciate a lot of the aspects of that game, what they did. It had compelling storytelling, great graphics, pretty cool combat. Got a bit grindy though, and I just wasn't like fully sold on all aspects of it. The co-op ended up not working. I had issues with it. It was supposed to be like this evolving world where you keep playing. That never came to fruition. So I liked it. I thought it was a very impressive game, just not one of my favorites. When you run Steam Link, are you 5 gigahertz or high? I'm always high. It always looks low res and sort of. So okay, I am. No one can type. It's all good, Rambus. I could barely read, so we're even. So I mean, I have a Wi-Fi 7 router, and I have my computer hardwired into the router. It's 10 gigabit. Even though you're not using remotely close to that bandwidth. So, I mean, I'm not doing anything else special from there. Steam Link tends to just give me a very good connection with high clarity, minimal artifacting, perfect latency. Every once in a while, there might be a game that doesn't agree with it too well, and I'll switch over to AirLink or VD. But VD is actually like it used to be my go-to. It's my last choice now. Even though it has more options and you can, but you got to dial it in. And Steam Link has just been rock solid for me. But see, like, honestly, when Steam Link first started, it didn't work at all for me. And I used to never be able to play over Wi-Fi for PCVR, but my current connection, my current setup, my current, hardware, environment, level of interference, whatever the case may be, it's all nailing it for me. I have no issues. The latency is so low. Occasionally I get a little jitter. That's about it. Like if I'm playing Fallout 4 VR, occasionally I'll get some jitter with that game, but that's that game. Keep being a VR champion. You got it, man. You got it. That's what I'm here for. It's not VR related, but what do you think about the Oblivion remake? I'm down for that. I liked Oblivion better than Skyrim. So I'm 2000% down for that. And they can't do anything original anymore. Original and good. So go for it. Fix an already incredible game. I just wish sometimes they could like steal all these modders, put them in a room, and then take their mods and make them like official in the game because they fix so much stuff. But no. But Jesus Christ, they need a new engine. Oh my goodness. The Skyrim Fallout engine is just it has a lot of flexibility, but it's also dog shit. Like the fact that the same bugs have been in that system for a gazillion years now is just inexcusable. Yeah, I mean, in the past, it used because I've used a wired PCVR headset forever. When I still have, hey, let's look up there in the corner. There's my Valve Index, just chilling, doing its thing. So, I mean, I have used a wireless headset forever, and I did love like the no issues that I had with it for so long, and I always felt the latency like previously on a Quest 1, a Quest 2, even like the Pico 4. I never had like this connection where I didn't go, oh, this doesn't have issues. Either it would be graphical issues or it'd be, latency issues. I always kind of felt like my hand was swimming a little bit. But I don't know when it changed. But now Steam Link is to the point where I just turn it on. And if anything, I'll get like a moment where resolution dips for like half a second and then goes right back. And that's like the only artifacting I see. And I rarely ever feel any type of latency. So I'm sold. I feel like Wi-Fi 6 can pull it off. Yeah. Bethesda rips off modders and puts out lower quality versions in the creation store. Yeah. Womp womp. I mean, the whole gaming market is F, man. It is a shit show. That reminds me of something random. Hey, I just cranked up some settings before this stream, and I just was checking. We didn't drop any packets, nothing. We're doing good. So, yeah, you don't want your computer to be on Wi-Fi because now you're going through 2 Wi-Fi jumps, and that is asking for issues. I mean, because every one of those hops, every piece of hardware or anytime the signal has to change, you're going to introduce more latency, more lag. You can compensate for that by sending less packets, but then the visual quality goes to shit. Yeah, I mean, historically, virtual desktop is awesome. So, I think it was, it was John Carmack a while ago. He was trying to get the official Doom games and stuff to do official versions for the Quest. And, I mean, he was pushing hard, and it fell through. I think at one point he said, like, he guaranteed 1 million sales, which is insane. But that was, you think in the height of Quest 2 and during the global pandemic where we're all in lockdown. That's when the gaming industry was like loving life. And you sit there and you're just like, all right, that makes sense. They could pull this off. They should do this. But for whatever reason, he couldn't make it happen. All right. Disco VR covered haptic tech company. I love haptics is in quotes. Real VR touch gloves that feel natural, feedback that gives the feeling of touch. So for starters, Disco VR is Tatiana. So that's my buddy, and she's awesome. And I mean, I am intrigued by the concept. I just don't find it like very feasible. We're going to wear gloves and then hold controllers. Okay, maybe. We can't have the gloves as the controllers. They're going to be expensive. So now you're going to introduce what? You're going to introduce $200 more or more for gloves that probably won't get much third-party support, and because no one has them, and if people don't have them, and how much more does it add than just typical vibration in the controller? It's a cost-benefit thing. And it's is there a market thing, or can you create a market? I don't think you can create that market for sure. There is no market for it. Is it cool tech? Yes. Do I think we need to push that tech forward? Sure. But you got to come up with something like it would have to be something like Meta would have to just embed those sensors or something in the controller so that every developer has access to, something like Valve tried to do with the Knuckles or the Index controllers. So luck of the Irish VR. What's up, man? My neighbors just went to Ireland. It's my Ireland. Not much is cracking. We're just talking. We're just doing the thing. People are asking questions like normal, and I'm answering them. I'm chill today. Trying to pep myself back up. The new haptic suit seems interesting. True. I'll have my video out tomorrow for True Gear, so you can check that out. I would be surprised if Alex sold 3 million. That doesn't sound right. There's only like 3 million PCVR or steamvr headset owners. I mean, maybe they sold that much. I would say definitely 1 million. I don't know. It's pretty wild. But remember, they gave it away to everyone who bought a Valve Index, which is probably another 500,000 people. I don't know. Numbers are hard. VR is the future of gaming. Just needs more exposure. Too many people think it's a gimmick. I know. We've been fight the good fight with us, man. Speaking of that good fight, I've talked about it before, but I'm going to PAX East in May, so a month from now. And I worked the whole last year. This is no benefit to myself to get the PAX East VR showcase updated. So they have an open floor for VR, and they started it like 2020, and it was awesome. And they had a lot of cool stuff then. Like they had 4-person teams of Bridge Crew that you could demo. They had 4-on-4 matches of Vox Machina, 4 tables of that. And they had a lot of open tables with like your typical Beat Saber and stuff. And you could watch people, and it was exciting. And then it closed down because of the pandemic, came back in 2024. It was all the same crap hardware, all the same games. They had original HTC Vives and Rift CV1s. And it was behind like closed doors, so you couldn't watch people play. It was trash. So I just said, this isn't happening again. It said, go and play the latest and greatest in VR. No, this is not it. So I've been on the phone with people from PAX, people from Meta, game developers, and I'm just like, we got to get this upgraded. So it's upgraded this year. They're gonna have I think 20 or 30 Quest headsets, Quest 3s. They got some Valve Indexes. They got a mix of PCVR and Quest games to show off. So I'm pumped. Okay. Let's see. Do you reckon within 10 years VR could be at the level of the movie Ready Player One? No. 10 years is too short for that. Maybe 30 years, but 10 years is too short for that. I mean, I'm just an old dude talking from experience. I'm investing in a big screen Beyond 2. I'm going to try and get my hands on one. I mean, I'm in touch with them. And, obviously they want to accommodate their customers first. If the sales are rushing in for that headset, people want the headset. They already have sales rushing in. Why do they want to send me, to talk about the headset? To increase sales more? Can they even keep up with current sales? The answer is no. So that's why they don't want to give me a headset right now to demo. I would have to go the normal means, and then I'd have to wait months anyway. So we wait months. How do you think tariffs will affect prices? Horribly. It's not even the fact that the tariffs themselves. It's the level of uncertainty that is just making everyone go, I don't know how I'm going to survive, or how do I plan for the future if one day this costs $1, tomorrow it costs $13, then the next day it costs $3. How do I plan anything? Most other jobs in the world, have supply and demand. They have to buy certain goods and resources that they need. So unlike the stock market where it's just trading imaginary stuff all day long. So yeah, this is crazy. You got to go, well, if I'm building this, I got to know the price of the material, and then I could charge the person. But labor will shoot up if material shoots up. It's just going to be horrible. Why am I going on a tangent on that? I hope PAX demo Spatial Ops. I mean, I recommended it to them. I said, and then Resolution Games agreed it would be great to show off. It is a great game to showcase in both single player and multiplayer. I think the concern there is just, I guess you'd have to have people sign waivers, but even that, you just don't want people running into each other because Spatial Ops gets like that. I can't tell you, like, when we played in a mansion in Florida, a bunch of us played. There was 8 of us, and we, I was like bumping into people, pushing them around because you're just like, even though you are in mixed reality, your peripheral vision is cut off. So if someone's on your side, you might slam into them. So yeah, that's where we're living. So what else is going on, my dudes? I feel like you guys represent VR as a whole. Like when you guys are here and all excited and chat's like crazy, that's when like everyone's feeling the VR vibes. When we're more chill and mellow and just, just doing our thing. Yes, I agree. Hitman is phenomenal. We're just sitting here chilling, doing our thing. I feel like that's the vibe of VR in general, man. It's like, all right, we're just chilling. We're having a good time. We're going to see what comes next. Speaking of what comes next, what do you guys want out of VR? We don't have any like massive titles on the way right now. I mean, I am still actually intrigued about Zombie Army VR. I have a little bit of information if you guys want it on XR Games not being listed on the game anymore. But only if you guys request that information. Like a bunch of you got to say, yeah, tell us the XR Games story in the chat. Or I'm just not telling the story. But let's see. I just want to thank you for being a content creator. You're the reason I got more invested in VR. Stew Chicken. That is amazing. Like, I love hearing that. Listen, when you are a content creator, you have to grow a thick skin. And a lot of times what happens is if you're in a bad place, you only hear the bad stuff and the good stuff doesn't make its way in. And I put a very strong effort to make sure that like you're recognized, your appreciation is recognized, because it does mean a great deal to me. Sometimes just those little comments keep us sane. And like I said, you need to have a thick skin being in this industry, because people will just like make up shit about you. People are nutty, man. So I've had some scenarios, and I gotta say, I just want to say thank you. There was more to that story, but whatever. We'll stay on topic here. VR's dead. Yeah, every other day. VR relit my love of gaming, to be honest. It definitely relit my passion to work in the gaming industry. And it's something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be involved in the gaming industry. I always wanted to, like meet fellow nerds and stuff like that. But I just didn't trust the reliability of the industry. So I took the more stable route. I was an IT manager up to an IT director, worked in IT for just about 24 years. And then I lost my mind at the job. I didn't lose my job. I walked away, but I was losing my mind at the job, and I said, I'm out. Let's see. I want Day of the Tentacle remade from the ground up. Feel free to talk to Jasmine, Eric, Todd, and Skiva. You could talk to them. Apparently, you're on first name basis with them. I see them every once in a while. Jazzy's my favorite. Shh. Don't tell Skiva, Todd, or Eric that Jasmine is my favorite. No one let that out. It's a height thing. She's the only one I'm close to eye level with. Nah, Todd's not that tall. All right. Is Switch 2 pricing of $80 digital and $90 physical going to influence the cost of all games across different platforms, including VR? Yes. VR game developers have wanted to raise their prices for the longest time. There is like the industry is absolutely absurd. And I'll give you a perfect example. There's zero to minimal appreciation to all the work that goes into developing any type of game. And back when Blizzard made the first StarCraft 2 DLC, which I think was an 18-month development period, like full funding schedule, so it's not as much as a full game, but it's pretty much as much as half a game because it took half the time to develop because it's only DLC. So it was a full-fledged expansion, and I think they ended up selling it at $30 or whatever it was. Again, this is a full team. This is 18 months ish of work, 12 to 18 months of work. Ton of, the voice actors are back, the cutscenes are back, everything dialed in, full scale project. Then World of Warcraft releases the first digital pony. Okay. It made more money than the StarCraft DLC. And when, the people in charge, the studios that, are in charge of the money, the purse strings, when they see that, they start pushing development in a different direction, which is over the years milked the industry and wrecked it. And now there's just this weird, like, okay, well, EA and all these what's called publishers. I got stuck there. All the publishers are greedy, so let's not give them a dime. Yet we still keep giving them $1 billion in DLC cosmetic content. But they're all greedy. And then it's like, well, okay, this game came out. The person in VR, a small man team, 10 people. They worked 2 years on it. Modest income for 10 people. That alone would be $500,000. You got a building. Meta's going to take 30% from the Meta store. So they're like, all right, we're going to sell our game for $20. Maybe we'll make, a decent profit to go on and make another game. And then people are like, oh, $20. That's ridiculous. I don't care. You took 2 years on this game. This game's worth $4. And then they go and buy a digital pony at $10. Like, this is the absurdity the industry is on. It's absurd from the consumer level. It's absurd at the publishing level where the stockholders are expecting more and more return each year. It's insane on the game development level where flat screen AAA is ballooned up to $250 million projects that sometimes get canceled after 2 weeks. So the industry is insane. And VR is just like a miniaturized version of that. But VR is very much still an indie sector for sure. So I wouldn't pay $70 to $80 for a 3-hour game. Well, I mean, that's fine. Like, very understandable. Now, but I think that concept has changed a lot of developers to just rehashing content to say, like, well, people bitch if the game is only 3 hours. So we're going to take that 3 hours of content and copy it 4 times. And now we have a 12-hour game. Like, that's what Mass Effect 3 did. Mass Effect 3 was shit. Mass Effect Andromeda. Sorry. Mass Effect 3 is when they first started screwing up BioWare. Mass Effect Andromeda was when they totally ruined the series. You went to it's got a less engaging storyline, less cool characters. They killed all the animations by, I don't know, I think what did they do? They brought in a third-party company that automated the animations or some nonsense. So they cut corners, and then it's content recycled. It's like, go to Fire Planet and make it cooler. Go to Ice Planet and make it warmer. And you're just doing the same shit on every planet. I'm like, this is not worth my time. Ooh, you gave me more content, but you just padded the shit out of it. And if you sit there, but if you think about everything else in the world, what it used to cost versus what it costs now, if you look at video games, they really haven't risen that much. I mean, in the 1980s and 1990s, yeah, I'd pay $50 for a video game. I'd pay $50 for a Nintendo game. Tell me what else hasn't gone up way more. Like McDonald's French fries are like $6 now. They used to be like 60 cents. It's insane. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Synapse was fantastic. I love Synapse, man. Yeah, Animal Company makes $100K a week. That's when you want to choke yourself. When people went out on a limb, did something new, made something impressive, properly utilized their funding, made a decent profit. People turn around and say like, "Oh, your game's a tech demo. Your game sucks. It's not worth $20." Then when people make this grindy, repetitive bullshit with horrible graphics and it's making 100K a week, sorry, I'm not picking on any specific game, to each their own. But you could see that's also demoralizing to certain developers. Yeah, they were physical back in the day. They're digital now, so you did cut out a lot of the redistribution costs and stuff. Yeah, but we're at a point where manufacturing that stuff was like pennies, like it was nothing. Like I used to mass burn CDs throughout the day on a simple one machine at home and not specialized. So I don't know. Physical now is just a hassle. And they're charging more for the physical anyway. That's ridiculous. Selling 4 times as many. The industry is crazy. I mean, there's also an insane amount of competition that never existed. Like, not that it compares one to one, but I just got Crunchyroll for the first time. And I turned on and I don't recognize anything. And I'm like, well, what do I watch? Like, it's Netflix, but at least Netflix, I could scroll through and be like, oh, this one sounds good. I'm just looking at this like, I'm clueless. So, things might get buried also now. And don't talk about things rising to the top on the storefront. The storefront does not prioritize what it should be prioritizing. Hip, hip, hooray for piracy. Kevin, that's a conversation I was having last night with somebody. I know piracy on the MetaQuest exists, but I've never looked into it. And then I've heard, it's really rampant. And if anyone, by the way, I did watch Solo Leveling. I just blasted through the 2 seasons. I blasted through those 2 seasons so ridiculously fast that I was like, I need more. You got any more of that Solo Level? Solo Leveling is the best, man. But if you guys have recommendations for Crunchyroll, give me your top 5. Give me your top 5 for Crunchyroll. And I'm just trying to see. No one asked about the story. All right, cool. We're good. I'm just scrolling on through. So it'll basically remain a niche for 3D glasses like movies. I mean, I don't think so. I think there's still enough growth in the industry that we're going to get where we need to go. You can organize a VR watch party. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Piracy. I heard it's a thing. It's ridiculously easy. See, that's, obviously 10. If you want to DM me, because I do have some questions, because I didn't want to personally look into it, but I would like to ask you, they sell their accounts. That's how it's done. That doesn't sound right. I don't know. I think there's got to be more to it. Ghost stories. Okay. But 10, if you DM me, Mateo311 on Discord, I would have a few questions for you. Arlen, have fun in your meeting, man. Have fun. I have a meeting right after this, discussing some super cool businessy VR stuff that I can't tell you about yet. Yeah. I figured it was just an AP. I'm not going to talk about it because I don't want to give anybody ideas or make it sound like I'm spreading this information. But I'm pretty sure I have an understanding of completely how it works. Yeah, I know you would sideload, and then there's a way to get around DRM. So that's where we're going to leave it. Attack on Chainsaw. Yeah, Attack on Titan. Attack on Chainsaw? Yeah, okay. I can read. Attack on Titan, Chainsaw Man. Death Note I've watched. I'm not a big anime guy, but I have watched all of Death Note. I have watched Full Metal Alchemist, which was amazing. I watched the first season of Tower of God. Solo Leveling, I watched the 2 seasons. I'm getting more into anime. I'm sure I've watched a bunch more, but nothing's coming up, so it must have not been remarkable. Do you think the VR industry likes your critiques or not? Scream, I'm in very good standing, at least to the best of my knowledge, with many parts of the industry, from publishers to developers to the consumer base. Remember, I've been a gaming consumer my whole life. So I think sometimes they like what I'm saying. Sometimes they don't like what I'm saying. I think some things they'll agree with and some things they won't agree with. But I think for the most part, I try to stick to objective stuff where they can agree with me. Like when I say the storefront was broken and it was detrimental to them for a long time, no one's going to disagree with that. I mean, no one's going to and it's also on the consumer side too. I'd hear people say, oh, you showed off a game. The game was really cool. I searched for it on the Meta store. I can't find it. That's unacceptable for the consumer, for the developer who lost the sale, and even Meta themselves. They're losing money on that too because someone wanted to buy it. Am I the only one who prefers buying on SteamVR other than the Meta store just because version? So a version of Facebook. There's plenty of people like that. That's there's nothing big there. But so back to your topic, Scream. I've had dinner with multiple different studios. Like occasionally we meet each other at these events, and sometimes we'll go to lunch together. Sometimes it's a planned meeting. They want to pick your brain, and I've had sit downs with tons of people. So like XR Games and Resolution Games and other names with games, Shell Games. So, I've sat down with a lot of these people, met them behind closed doors, whatever the scenario was, been to game demos that they were showcasing, like Vertigo Games. Everyone is called games, apparently. So I've had long conversations, and they say we listen. And they say sometimes we don't really want to hear what we hear, but we listen. And at least they respect me. And if they disagree with something I say, we're at the point where we could have a conversation where they'd be like, listen, you're thinking this way, but let me explain why that's probably not a great direction to go in, or your logic is flawed because of this. Like I had a conversation with someone from Beyond Frames, and I said, well, listen, we know that the player base is very young right now. Everyone's talking about Gen Alpha. Meta is, hyped about Gen Alpha, and Gen Alpha is playing like Gorilla Tag and Animal Company right now. But they're only going to be 13 to 17 for 4 years. Don't you think then once they turn the corner at 17, 18, we can move them into more mature content? And the answer was no. No, that they straight up, I was told, your logic might be flawed there because these people grew up on social apps, like apps with a ton of socialization. And that's the type of stuff they're going to gravitate to. So they're not going to move to a game. They're probably going to move to like a VR chat or something. If they move at all, if they don't just give it up. So I was like, yeah, that's one way to look at it. I have not seen Perfect Blue. Lots of good recommendations in here, guys. Thank you. Max Payne VR, it seems like a no-brainer. I'm with you on that. Okay, let's see. What's up, bro? Hope all is well. I'm late to the stream, but I'm curious. You ever tried psychedelics, more specifically in VR? I feel like some light shrooms in VR would go very well together. I have not really done any psychoactive compounds in my life. The strongest would be THC, and you're not going to see stuff on THC. Maybe you're going to feel like you're thinking to yourself or talking to yourself, or thinking that you heard something, but that's about as far as it goes, as I'm sure you know. I've talked about it before. I take an SSRI for mild anxiety. I started that 3 years ago. So even though I want to try some psychedelics, I would like to. I am an adult with kids. I need to remain responsible. But even on top of that, the SSRI medications block most psychedelics. They're serotonergic, so they operate on the same serotonin receptor. So yeah, my meds kind of block them, and I found that out recently. So yeah, but to your original question, yes, there are some experiences in VR that I'm sure if you took light shrooms or even some THC are awesome. Like Synth Riders has those special levels that are made that are they're more about the visuals and being like pulled through a virtual world rather than like really like having to keep up with the beat. And those are intense. Those go hard. Is physical reloading too much to ask for a EVR injections? Games like Crisis, Robocop. So I don't think UEVR goes deep enough, has enough hooks into the game to be able to make that type of drastic change. Remember, UEVR is just basically affixing the camera and some of the player assets in certain locations. Like, all it's doing is moving the camera to where your eye level would be and then changing the controls. Instead of mouse and keyboard, it's going to change. One hand is bound to one motion controller, another hand is bound to another motion controller. And then they remap the other controls. That's all they're really doing. That's like, besides the visual to make it 3D and stuff like that. But besides that, those are the broad strokes of how UEVR works. So to instantly create something like, active reloading, how? There's no animation for that, for starters. There's probably no like clip that is grabbable. A lot of these games you just walk over ammo and you auto pick it up. So there's no asset of an actual clip that you can hold. So it's not something that they could UEVR snap into existence. I hope that makes sense. Listen, I don't think when you're on shrooms, you're going to care about, I'm sorry. I read LSD and I was thinking LCD. I'm like, when you're on shrooms, you're really going to care what type of screen it is. But yeah, LSD, shrooms, whatever. I'm not here to talk about drugs. Do you think Meta has eyes on Postal 2 as a test for M-rated content? I think they generally are really curious about everything. Like, I know even 2K and Meta are watching the Civ 7 release and the statistics. More importantly, the statistics very closely. Like, because this is information they could use on how to proceed. Like, what's a good route for them to go in? Obviously, they want to make the device as broad, like mainstream as capable as possible to have it, anyone wants one or anyone could get usage out of this product. Because again, they're going for the next computing platform. They want to have the mainstream product that everyone uses just like their cell phone. So I think they're just going to be very curious about that information and look into it deeply and kind of see where it goes. There's a whole ayahuasca section in Green Hell. There's a whole ayahuasca game. So like it's like a demo, which was pretty trippy for sure. Drugs are bad, okay? Okay. But I want XCOM VR and I want Titanfall 2 VR. That's what I want. Those gotta happen. Let's go. Make it happen, everybody. No. Listen. No adult content. Adult content VR. Rated R, fine. Adult content. Yeah, that's not good. So, doctor, okay. She is a psychiatrist who has success in helping people with therapeutic keto diet and often without meds. So, yeah, I mean, a ketogenic diet didn't agree with me. And my blood work is immaculate right now. A change like that is not something I'm looking for. I like being able to poop. Jokes aside against the keto diet, there are aspects, like the keto diet was originally designed, I think, to help treat seizures. So there is a potential impact there, and diet and exercise do. But I worked on it my whole life. I honestly didn't know I had anxiety until my 30s because no one talked about it. Then I realized, oh, I just, I waste too much time and energy thinking about stuff that doesn't require a second's thought. And now that I never wanted to be medicated, but now I'm on a super low dose. I take it and life is great. And I can't complain. Except I did gain a lot of weight over time, but I'm fighting it. I'm staying in shape. Condemned 2, if it was in VR, that'd be sick. Triangle Strategy did well enough. Yeah, I think maybe Triangle Strategy translated slightly better than Civ. I think Civ is a little bit too grand scale for that mobile chipset. Because one of the things you notice is not only do you see less of the entire battlefield, but what you see is also, lower quality. Schedule 1 VR, let's go. Open world RPGs. There is like 2 projects I'm looking at. Now, neither of them are really open world RPGs. So Reeve is from the guys who did A Township Tale, if I'm remembering correctly. And Reeve is going to be like A Township Tale, but more on the fantasy dungeon diving aspect. So rather than to sit there and hack trees all day, you're going to hack some enemies, and it's going to have, PvE, PvP, and it's going to have like a big social aspect. So that's something I'm really interested in, because it could feel like an MMO world and you're going out in like teams of 4. Very interested in Reeve. It seems like, my style 100%, what I want to see from VR. And they were impressive what they pulled off with A Township Tale. So I'm excited for that one. The other one is something with an E. Let me see. There's a new it's not an RPG, open world RPG, but it's an MMO that's in the process. Let's see. Eldramore. Haven in the Mist. So they've been, I've been talking to them a little bit. They're like, hey, yeah, come check it out. So I'm going to check that out. If you guys want me to check that out, you should just sound off in the chat and say, yeah, go check that out. So then I know you guys want me to check it out. You're never going to be dark and darker VR. You're never is going, I don't know. Sure. Oh, Reeve is never going to be. Okay. I see what you're saying. So yeah, that's definitely an aspect they were going for, dark and darker. But I've never tried that game, so it didn't immediately come to mind. Squad in VR would make sense too. Ascent Quest, all right. For sure, Nintendo, after their failed Virtual Boy attempt, one day they will try again. I'm with you. I mean, people will jump into VR when there's an established market. Like people like Microsoft, I think some people jumped in very early because it was the new hype and they thought it was going to blow up. And then they saw there was no money in it and they pulled back out. But I think when Meta finally establishes that market and there's a bigger market out there, other people like Microsoft will jump back in and other players will try and copy them. We're starting to finally see some competition. So we have other players getting into the business. We got Google getting in. We have Apple's already in, but it looks like their next headset will be a lot cheaper. So yeah, ultimately it's good across the board. It's going in the right direction. I'm not talking VR adult content. For something, I'm not a bashful person. I am not shy. To each their own. I don't care what you do in your personal life, but something about it just, and taboos never bother me. Something about the concept of adult content in VR just gives me this, I don't know, skeeves me out. It's a step that I don't want to go into, or I don't want to see humanity go into. You see, like Cyberpunk 2077, they have their VD headsets on, and they're sitting there with like animatronics assisting them out in the public with no shame. Like, I feel like if we normalize this, that's where we're headed to. But maybe I'm just getting old. I'm an old prude. If we normalize that, we would just be animals. We'd be pure animals. We'd be going backwards. It's like Idiocracy. I really had no idea that was a documentary. I had no idea. It's pretty amazing. Do you think Meta has approached devs like Raft and Rust to get those fairly large games established players over to the platform? I don't know. I mean, I know early on they were really like trying to find big names, and that's how the GTA stuff started. Yeah, I've been married for a very long time. I don't know what I said to make that comment pop up. I get nervous when "you're married" comes in the chat because I run my mouth a lot. But yeah, that's the true story. With kids, and I'm old and everything. Guild Wars on Quest, something like that would be pretty cool. Asgard Wrath is never coming to PCVR because unless Meta opens up like their streaming platform, it's never coming to PCVR because it's a Meta funded title and they gave up on PCVR a long time ago. That's it. Is what it is. Sal, you gotta tell me what I said for you to remind me I'm married. Or was that, it's like, it's a statement. It's written like, well, there's no punctuation. So it could be a question, a statement, an accusation. Okay. Oh, I'm married. I have no reason to play those games. Okay, context. There's a delay. There's got to be a setting to turn down the delay on YouTube because the YouTube delay is high. There is a significant delay. So, yes, I'm married, but that's not to say like I wouldn't have an interest in adult content. I'm married. I wouldn't say adult content should disappear. I'm fine with it. I'm just saying utilizing adult content in VR just seems dirty to me. Just seems dirty. It's just me, and I don't want to know more. Greetings from Canada. So listen, you're not going to be the 51st state. I've decided that just the coast are going to come join Canada. Okay? So we got the East Coast about halfway down, and we got the West Coast most of the way down. And maybe a few more states might come with us, but we're coming over. Okay? I'll bring my ball. We could play some games. I'll bring my headset. Right at the new border, because we have to move the border now. It won't be up north. We'll have like these two borders on the east and the west, on California and on the East Coast, and the border's going inward. So yeah, I'll meet you at that border, and we could play some video games together. Greenland. Well, we suddenly need Greenland. We suddenly realized it's a thing, and we like green, and we need it for your security. I'm going to get myself in trouble on this stream. I always call it like it is, guys. I don't hold back. Do you think Behemoth did well enough to get a sequel? I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't really say. I don't think it had the same impact as the first Saints and Sinners. But then again, I'm not privy to those numbers. I'm just going off gut feeling on this one. And it doesn't feel like it's there, but I could be way wrong. Yeah, 10, let's do this, man. Let's do this. I'm down. We can finally play Demio. Let's go. Demio. Man, I can't wait for Battle Marked. They're officially licensed D&D game from Resolution Games. I can't wait for Battle Marked. That'll be awesome. All right, guys. It's getting chill here. It's getting calm. It's a nice slow day. If you have any last minute questions for me, lay them out now. I'm going to start saying my goodbyes. Then I'll wrap up your last questions, and then we'll be out. Because I got a meeting to go to. I got to get a snack into this body before the meeting. And life is good. So, like always, guys, thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for hanging out. It's always great having you guys here. And If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. If you want to support me, the best thing you guys can always do is just click that thumbs up. If you're new here, if you're not subscribed for some weird reason, go check right now. So check 2 things. Everyone stop. Check 2 things. 1, are you subscribed? 2, did you click like on this video? If you didn't, I don't know what you're doing. You got to click them right now. And thank you guys. But no, honestly, it means the world. This is an industry I've always wanted to work in. And the fact that I'm doing it's like I'm living the dream. It's great. I know I'm not showing all this emotion right now, but I'm chill. Like sometimes I got to slow down. But yeah, it's been a fun time. Thank you guys for the support. My chat has been dropping the same link it always drops. Let's see. I'll copy paste it. So this link right here, guys, I've been updating it again. This is my recommended games, the recommended hardware, the cheapest stuff that I can find. Not many sales these days. It's pretty calm right now. This is, off season for VR. I also have my 100 top games of all time coming out soon. True Gear VR review coming out. And now I'm just going to look to see if there's any of those last questions. And then I'm out, guys. We really should make a play with my subs thing, but I cannot find time. Like, my life has just been nutty lately. All right, let's see. Mateo's honesty is what drew me to the channel. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. So after seeing Resolution Games comments about upgrading Demio's engine, it makes me think that the thing will be a DLC for Demio. It's a standalone game, and how far, and it's going to be like story driven, and it's going to have official assets from them. I don't know how far it's going to go into as far as D&D style combat, D&D leveling, stuff like that. I don't know. Trevor, it's all good, man. Borderlands 4 VR, I want it too. I'll go make it happen. I'll make a call. Dude, yeah, come to my Discord. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, guys. I do have a looking for group in the Discord, and there's a channel for it too. And, in a rare event I'm playing something, I usually ping that, but I would love to get someone to organize group games. Like, so I don't have to think. Just have the game organized, have like people ready to go. And if I can make it, I join. And if I can't, and if I want to do something special and we know there's a reoccurring time, I could say, hey, game manager person that I've put in charge of this. Yeah, this day I want to do this at this time. See if you could find some people. That'd be awesome. Yep, I started ranking on the 9 years. I started working on the 9 years ranked video. I can't talk today. I'm too tired, guys. But that's it. I'm gonna be calling it here. It's been a fun ride, guys. Thank you for joining and hanging out, and I will see you guys on next time when I have a little bit more energy. Peace. And that was today's stream, guys. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. You guys mean the world to me. I hope I did a good job answering all of your questions. And if you want to help support me, the easiest ways are always to leave a comment, throw a thumbs up, subscribe, or if you're one of those crazy people who likes to burn money on me, why not use one of my affiliate links for a discount on some accessories? Maybe become a Patreon or YouTube member. And finally, I have a merch shop with items that no one has ever bought before. Again, thanks for hanging out, guys. And of course, I'll see you on next time. And that was today's stream, guys. Thank you so much. I wouldn't be here without you. You guys mean the world to me. I hope I did a good job answering all of your questions. And if you want to help support me, the easiest ways are always to leave a comment, throw a thumbs up, subscribe, or if you're one of those crazy people who likes to burn money on me, why not use one of my affiliate links for a discount on some accessories? Maybe become a Patreon or YouTube member. And finally, I have a merch shop with items that no one has ever bought before. Again, thanks for hanging out.